I'm over 60 years old, and if you think that sprinting is just for kids, believe me when I tell you, you are missing out on one of the greatest fountains of youth.
Hey, it's Caesar, creator of the Sprint Project. A lot of people look at Wendell and they think, of course he's in amazing shape at 60 years old. He's an Olympian. Wendell competed as a 200-meter sprinter in the 1992 Olympics. But there's a part of his story that most people don't know about. In 2014, a freak accident left Wendell on crutches. A construction site in New York City wasn't following regulations, no proper barriers, no safety cones, and Wendell happened to be in the wrong place at the wrong time. This wasn't just a minor setback. Wendell went from being the fastest man in the world for his age group to someone who couldn't even walk. Imagine going from winning gold medals to struggling to get through the day without pain.
I was unable to walk without crutches for 3 months. I could not walk without a limp for 7 months.
Wendell was where many of us have been, frustrated, limited, and fighting to get back to feeling like himself again. It took him nearly a year to recover and sprint pain-free again. During this time, he was on crutches and eventually had to build himself back little by little. This was the first time Wendell shared this story publicly, and he's doing it for one reason. If you're feeling like you've lost control of your health, you're not alone. Wendell's been there too. If you're able to walk pain-free right now, then you're already in better shape than he was at that time. Wendell used the same training concepts that he teaches today to rebuild his strength and speed.
Now, I can sprint, okay? I can do it.
Here's a clip of him racing a 28-year-old. And several college sprinters. A little context behind these videos. Wendell is the head sprint coach of my programs. We coach individuals from around the world, both in person and online. Here, Wendell is racing one of the athletes for 10-meter starts where the yellow cone is placed. And if we rewind the clip, we can see that the reaction time and explosiveness that this man has at 60 years old is on a different level. Also, the guy he's racing against is not just anyone. Evan set the indoor 200-meter school record that season and runs 10.4 in the 100 meters. I've been running my training company since 2018 and grew up in New York City. I've never seen someone who can move fast and explosive like Wendell at his age. I'm sure most of you will agree. There's very few 60-year-olds in the world who can race a record-breaking college sprinter head-on without pulling a hamstring, much less have this kind of reaction time. When I saw Wendell racing these guys in New York, to be honest, it shattered my reality of what the human body can do. The majority of the world thinks that it's normal to fall apart as we get older. And yes, time is something that we cannot escape. However, I hear so many guys in their late 20s, early 30s already joking about how they have back pain, how they don't have the same energy as in college, and how their metabolism is significantly slower. I'll be honest with you, I was starting to think that was normal until I met Wendell.
The thing you don't want to do, you don't want to be in a position at 65 years old where you can't do something like this, or just do something like this, or you just want to be able to jump with no pain. Then you want to do that now. When you're 30 years old, 35 years old, 40 years old, you want to do that now. And if you just do something like this once a week, by the time you're 60 years old, you'll be in a much better condition than 90% of all your peers.
And I'm not saying that we should all expect to be at Wendell's level, but if we can achieve a third of what he is doing, that's enough to be super fit as we get older. All it takes is consistent sprint training once per week in combination with strength training. I've seen his energy levels firsthand. We filmed this video after he traveled on 30+ hours of no sleep. He had problems with his flights, and he did a sprint workout with the 2-time NBA champion Norris Cole, and then hit the gym for strength training right after. Wendell isn't just an Olympic sprinter. He has over 30 years of coaching experience. In fact, like I mentioned before, he's the head coach of my programs. And in just the last 12 months, we've had the privilege of working with many incredible individuals over 30, helping them successfully sprint without getting hurt. This is Marco, 44 years old, Jeff Pope, 61 years old, Vincent Clark, 38 years old, Robert, 38, Christina Trucks, 40, and Norris Cole, 2 times NBA champion, age 36.
Oh, nice fake. Norris Cole soaring. Second rim.
I'm showing you some of the people that we've worked with so that you know we have many clients around the world using sprinting to stay young and get extremely fit in this very moment. It's not just Wendell doing this. And quick disclaimer, although we love sprinting, please consult with a professional before incorporating it into your routine. This ensures you're performing it safely and have a solid plan in place. There's no other exercise that can push every single muscle in the body to complete exhaustion within seconds without a single piece of equipment like sprinting. At the Sprint Project, we believe that sprinting is the most powerful form of exercise in the world. Here are some of the scientific benefits of sprinting. 1, burn 200 calories in just 2.5 minutes. A study by the American Physiological Society found that just 5 30-second sprints can burn up to 200 calories. Another paper shows that one single session of sprint training can increase how much calories you burn that day by 950. Simply put, those who sprint have the best bodies. Lean, muscular, athletic, low body fat. They might not be the biggest person in the gym, but they can run, jump, and move without pain. Fun fact, in 2020, when everything shut down, Wendell fell out of shape just like many others did. Yeah, it turns out he actually is kind of human. He went from this to this in 60 days. Funny enough, the same thing happened to me. I posted a video around that same time where I show exactly how I went from this to this in 60 days using only 3 sprint workouts per week and nothing else. I didn't even know Wendell at that time, and we essentially did the same thing. The fact is, we are all human, and even if we fall out of shape at some point, when you know exactly what to do, it is possible to lose body fat on command and effortlessly create the transformation you desire. 2, reduce cognitive decline. A paper by Shu Feng and colleagues 2023 found that high intensity interval training like sprinting has been shown to improve cognitive function in mice with Alzheimer's symptoms by flushing out amyloid beta, a neurotoxin, the protein that builds up in the brains of people with Alzheimer's disease. If you want to improve focus and stay sharp mentally, you should probably be sprinting. According to Tommy Wood, Department of Neuroscience, grip strength can predict your risk of dementia and Alzheimer's. An imbalance in grip strength is correlated with neurological decline. For your muscle to contract, they have to send a signal from your nervous system, and if they're not distributing that signal evenly to the left and right side of your body, it could be a sign that the nervous system is not working efficiently, specifically if there's a 10% or more imbalance. So if you can handle a 100-pound dumbbell in one hand and a 110-pound in the other, that's a red flag. Here are 2 ways this information connects to sprinting. There's no other single bodyweight exercise that has a higher demand on the nervous system. According to science, elite sprinters apply 4 to 5 times their body weight into the ground during 0.08, 0.012 of a second for multiple repetitions. A person who can maintain their ability to sprint will likely maintain a healthy neurological system. And the second way this connects to sprinting is that Wendell constantly coaches to work on single leg exercises almost religiously and designs programs to prevent imbalances from developing in the first place. 3, higher bone density. In Finland, researchers examined masters athletes 10 years apart. Masters refers to athletic competitions for adults over 25. They examined the benefits of strength and sprint training on bone aging in 40 to 85-year-old male sprinters who had a history of training. They found that the group that did strength and sprint training at least twice per week had significantly higher bone density in their tibia, specifically in the middle region. According to literature, the second largest bone in the body, the tibia's main function in the leg is to bear weight, with the medial aspect of the tibia bearing the majority of the weight load. In other words, the tibia is a very important bone for walking and moving. Sprinting counteracts the loss of strength and density in your bones. 4, increase testosterone. Literature by Ambrosi and colleagues 2021 examined the effect of high intensity interval training on men aged 35 to 40. In this age range, it is reported that testosterone decreases by 1.6% each year. As you may already know, testosterone plays a critical role in metabolism, the reproductive system, and the cognitive health of a man. They took 30 men and had them train only 3 times per week for 1 hour. They found a 36.7 increase in testosterone from doing this type of training. In summary, high-intensity interval training such as sprinting boosts testosterone levels, which is especially important for men over 30. 5, boost human growth hormone. Sprinting naturally increases your body's production of HGH, a key hormone responsible for muscle growth, fat burning, and recovery. This paper examined the growth hormone response to treadmill sprinting in sprints and endurance trained athletes. Each participant did a 30-second maximal sprint on a non-motorized treadmill after a sub-maximal warm-up. GH levels were significantly higher in the sprint trained athletes than in the endurance ones using the same workout, which, in case you didn't catch that, that means a person that has a history of sprint training will get more benefits from a sprint workout than someone who doesn't. Even 1 hour post-exercise, GH levels remain 10 times higher than baseline in sprint-trained athletes, indicating prolonged hormone activity after maximal sprinting. Endurance-trained athletes also experience elevated GH levels post-sprint, but the magnitude and duration of the response were significantly lower compared to sprint-trained athletes. 6, improved range of motion and resilience. Sprinting moves your muscles and joints through their full range of motion at very high speeds. This builds resilience and reduces the risk of injury. Injury happens when your body moves into a position that your body is unprepared for. Obviously, the list goes on and on. Other benefits includes reduced anxiety and lower cortisol levels, improved protein synthesis, hypertrophy, improved heart health, increased metabolism, and so much more. As great as these benefits may sound, we know that most individuals have serious concerns about sprinting. For example, concern number 1, I'm not in shape for sprinting. This is exactly why you need it. Unlike other exercises, sprinting exposes every weakness, whether it's strength, mobility, or stability, and forces you to address these issues before they become serious problems. It's far better to identify and correct these weaknesses now rather than ignore them and wait until they lead to injury. Sprinting is a fundamental human movement that we're naturally born to do, and losing this ability is an early sign of declining physical health. Concern number 2, I'm afraid of injuries.
All the reasons that people think that they shouldn't sprint are actually the reasons that they should sprint. For instance, people think, oh, I'm gonna hurt my knees. Oh, my back's gonna hurt. Oh, I'm out of shape. Well, check this out. Think about this. If you are sprinting, just say like once a week, from the time you're 30 to 40 to 50, guess what? By the time you're 50, you literally have caused your body to morph, if I will, into a sprinting machine.
Later in this video, we'll show you a safe progression to get started that minimizes injury risk and maximizes joint health. Concern number 3, I don't have access to a track. You don't need a track unless you're a competitive sprinter. In fact, sprinting on a grass field is often better. It's easier on your joints, more accessible, and just as effective for improving fitness. If you have access to a curved treadmill, that works too. So you can still get great results without ever needing a track. Concern number 4, I'm not competing in anything.
You actually are competing in something. You're competing in the ability to stay as young as you can for as long as you can. That is, if you care about your quality of life. And one of the things that I guarantee you will keep you staying younger longer is doing something that all the kids do, and that is sprint.
Concern number 5, I prefer jogging and it's easier to get started. Even though jogging is easier to get started with, the pain can gradually build up and catch you by surprise. Unlike jogging, sprinting exposes your weak points, making it impossible to ignore them. Once you're able to sprint pain-free, you've validated that your body is in top physical shape. Plus, look at the body of a distance runner, then look at the body of a sprinter. And all that impact on the street chews up your joints. In fact, a study with 120 healthy participants by the Center for Clinical and Basic Research in Denmark found that male long-distance runners had reduced bone mass and accelerated bone loss. The scientific benefits of sprinting are clear. Sprinting, especially on grass, increases bone density, protecting your joints. And don't get me wrong, we know that not everyone watching this video is in shape to sprint right now. We're not saying that you should go sprint today if you're completely out of shape. We're saying that you should get to a point where you can sprint. And once you do get to that point, you should make it your goal to maintain your ability to sprint by doing it at least one time per week. Do this and your body will never be the same again. Now, let's talk about how you can get started regardless of where you're at right now. Tip number 1, we recommend sprinting on grass most of the time. Even the world's fastest man, Usain Bolt, frequently sprinted on grass to protect his body.
Train on the grass track, and then we go on the chevron. You can't train on the chevron 24/7, then you start have shin problems.
Tip number 2, if you can't sprint yet, do sprint drills. Sprint drills will help you build the foundation you need to sprint. These exercises improve your coordination, balance, and strength necessary to do actual sprints. Practice holding an A-step position. One knee up, one leg straight on the ground, posture upright. It looks easy, but it requires balance on a single leg and a great deal of hip mobility. When you can do the sprint drills in place, move on to the sprint drills while moving. Then do the drills with a bit of bounce. And then next, move on to the drills while moving a little faster and a little faster each time. From there, do a fast jog for 50 yards. Each run, go as fast as you can and nothing more. Don't try to be a superhero because that is when you hurt yourself. Balancing sprinting and lifting is straightforward. Always sprint before you lift. Sprinting requires fresh muscles and a fully charged nervous system. So it's best to do it when your body is not fatigued. Lifting weights can compromise your ability to run fast because it tires out your muscles and drains your nervous system. Here's a simple 3-day routine. Sprint on Monday, lift on Wednesday, and lift on Friday. This setup allows you to maintain high speed during sprints while still benefiting from strength gains and hypertrophy in the gym to build your own sprint physique. Train speed all year round, at least one time per week. That's all it takes.
Once a week? You can't do that once a week? Are you serious? Like, what do you expect to happen to you over the next 15, 20 years? Once a week?
Yeah.
It's once a week? You can't sprint once a week? Stop that. You can sprint once a week, especially if you're not injured. You're doing some fast jogging for like 50 yards, and you're 50 years old, I'm gonna consider that a sprint.
If you've gotten to this point in the video, then you know Wendell's story, you understand the benefits of sprinting, and you have seen that we help adults around the world successfully build and maintain a sprint physique. You have 3 choices now. 1, you can do nothing with this information and continue with what you were already doing. 2, you can decide to build your own sprint physique and use our free information to piece together a plan and hopefully be consistent. Or 3, you can reach out to us so that we can help you develop a personalized plan, show you how to burn fat on command, introduce you to like-minded individuals so that you have the peer pressure systems you need to be consistent and learn the full process step by step. Specifically, we help adults over 30 lose 20 to 40 pounds, regain their athleticism, and keep up with their kids without taking time away from their responsibilities. All you have to do is click the link below this video to fill out an application. We take our reputation very seriously, so we will only invite you into our program if we believe that we can actually help you, just like we have already done so with many others. I hope you got something out of this video, and make sure to subscribe because we will be posting more videos on this topic.